Time for another episode of Connected with Kelly, and this week we are connecting with Russell Dickerson. I love Russell Dickerson. He's one of my favorite people. He's had a lot going on lately. So we are going to talk all about his new album, Southern Symphony. We're also going to talk about his baby boy, Remington Edward. And Russell opened up to me about how 2020 was actually a blessing in disguise. Let's get connected with Russell Dickerson. Did he give you the whole thing? Are we recording there? Because I can't miss any of this. I can't miss 1 second. We have to be rolling at all times.
Oh, absolutely.
Are you ready?
Freaking miss your face.
I miss your face. How are you?
So good. I'm great.
Yeah, you are. Yeah, you are. Hello.
Yeah, here we are.
Okay, can I just tell you, this is so funny. I literally just looked and found an old interview of us, and I listened to it. It was when you had your second number one, and you were blown away. You were like, this is 2 in 1 year, and I just don't know how it gets better than this. And I'm thinking, if I could just reach through the screen and go, Russell, just wait. In 2 years, the world's going to be crazy, but your life's going to be awesome.
And it is. You were exactly right. This world is crazy, and my life is crazy right now in the best way possible.
In the best way possible. Okay, we can't go any further into this interview without asking about that sweet boy, Remington. How is he?
My little guy. That's the best part. That's why my life is so amazing. Like the number ones and all that is amazing. But
Right.
this little dude, like it's insane. I love him so much. And his little face, and just he's in the 99th plus percentile in everything.
Are
He's
you
like
serious?
he's off the chart. Like they don't have a chart big enough for his a big old belly, his head, his height is just like, he is a monster, and it is amazing.
So tell me your favorite time of day with him, because I remember when my little girl, like when she would she was kind of awake in the morning and she's still a little sleepy. And of course she's 11 now, so that's long gone, but like just the toes, and I need some baby fix. So tell me your favorite time of day with him.
And like when he first wakes up, like we have him in the swaddle thing, and then we let him out, and he's just like, like stretching, and then I'll like hold his head right here, and he'll just be like a little gummy smile, and he'll just talk to us for a little bit in the morning. It is like, I need my fix every day. Like I can't go a day without that in my life,
You know what? Yeah, I absolutely do know. I mean, this has been the most incredible time, but it's also happening with so many other crazy things going on in the world. So just the fact that you got a chance to be home for all of this, Russell, what would it have been like if you would have been touring?
I mean, literally, we would be, so we would have had our baby. We had our baby September 10th. We were supposed to be on tour with Kelsey Ballerini by the 22nd. So like less than 2 weeks at home, and then bam, right back on the road until almost Christmas.
You would have been on the road until Christmas.
We would have had our baby. 10 days later, packed up our 10-day-old baby on a tour bus, and just roll and figure it out. That's what we do. But the time leading up to this, starting in March, that was, I hate that the Kane Brown tour got cut so early, but I mean, we've been going for like 6 years, just pedal to the metal, and I don't think we knew how much we needed this time off.
See, that's the thing. That's the thing. So Southern Symphony, obviously, you'd been working on this. Did it get delayed? Was it supposed to be released earlier, or was it always a December release?
Yeah, it was always a December release, just based on, Love You Like I Used To, where it was at in the charts. We actually moved the album up because of because of Love You Like I Used To climbing so fast up the charts. We were like, well, we better put this album out as soon as Love You Like I Used To is going. So Yeah, that's a good problem to have.
It's a great problem to have. So you now have 4 number ones under your belt. You're releasing this album. You've never had the luxury of having a number 1 really before you've had the album come out, have you?
No, 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 no. We released the first album when yours was at like 2015 on the charts or something. And, you know, now it's like the first single off the album is already a number one for 2 weeks. And, that just like is the perfect anticipation builder for this album. And that sets the tone for the rest of the album. I hope so. Just keep them coming.
Tell me about this album and what you wanted to get from it and what it ended up being. I mean, what walking into a sophomore project, you always have that whole is there going to be a sophomore jinx thing? Was that ever a thought? And then what did you end up with? Was it better than you anticipated?
Definitely better than I anticipated. These songs have come, from a real place. They've come from bringing writers out on the road, which I think is a huge part of this process, for the writers to see what I do every night, for them to see me out on stage, see my energy, just my vibe on stage. And we were able to translate that into these songs. And I think what I wanted to communicate, just what I wanted to show with this album is honestly more songwriting. Like, I wanted to show, that on the first album, we had the hits, but we also had some like fun, more goofy, lighthearted songs like Float and Billions, and which are still jams. But like with this one, just a little more maturity in songwriting, a little deeper, digging a little deeper and putting a little more heart into every single song. And even with like It's About Time for a Drink, like that still is like a songwriter's jam. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not just a, throw it out there whatever song. It's like still a really well written song. And I don't know, I just feel like I've come a long way as a songwriter since my first album, and I think it really shows on all 10 tracks.
All right, since you brought it up, I heard it and I'm like, this is the perfect song when you're in the middle of a set and I can picture it live. Do you have that when you're looking at these songs and when you're performing these songs in studio? Are you automatically thinking in your head what this is going to be like on stage?
That's all I think about. That, like, when I write, even when I'm writing the song, like, I want to make sure that everybody can sing every single word to these songs. And it's like I've already got it planned out. Like, we'll maybe like bring it down, like acoustic chill vibe for a second, and I'll be like, we'll finish that song and be like, you know what, it's about time for a drink, and then it's just boom, straight into it. I've already got it planned out. I can't wait.
Oh, wait. How anxious and excited are you to get on stage again?
I mean, I'm gonna have to take a sedative my first time on stage. I'm not kidding. I'm gonna have to take some Benadryl or something to chill me out, because I'm going to lose my mind. My mind. Nor even when I'm exhausted, I'm still crazy on stage. But for being rested up for a year, I don't even. I don't know.
I don't even know. Y'all ain't ready.
I ain't ready. Ain't
Y'all ain't ready.
ready.
Okay, I want to dive into the album a little bit. Tell me about Never Get Old.
Oh, so this song came about. Corey, I sat down with Corey Crowder, Stephen Lee Olson, and Parker Welling, and Corey really just had this idea pretty much fleshed out. And he was like, "Man, we were talking about something like never get old," and he was like, he sang like most of the chorus. Some things never get old, kind of like whiskey, wine, and gold. And I think that's what he had. Is like, I don't know if I said it or somebody was like, every single night having you to hold. Yes, some things never get old. And we were just like, okay, well, there's the chorus. And I was like, I just wanted to make it like this kind of boot stomping, clapping kind of country anthem. And, I was like, this is what I want to kick off the record with. Like, this sets the tone, the big old, spread Alabama harmonies and stuff like that. I was like, I want this to sound like an Alabama Shania Twain, birth child. And when we got in the studio, Dan Huff really brought that to life. So I love this song.
I'm so glad you said that because as soon as I heard it, I was like, this just reminds me of a big throwback, a big anthem throwback that everybody's going to clap along to. Tell me about Home Sweet. And how does that song hit different now that we got Baby Remington in the picture?
Oh, it definitely hit different. Definitely hit different. I played this song kind of for the first time live ever at the listening room with Carly Pierce and Lindsay L. And like, I got to the third verse about talking about babies and stuff, and I just started weeping. Like I was like literally like I couldn't sing a word. Like I was just it was because my wife was like about to have our baby, and I'm like just overwhelmed by that, and like life is about to change real quick, and it just like hit me. That third verse is like one of the sweetest, most real experiences. And that Home Sweet, the entire song, I think is probably that one and Southern Symphony are my two favorites, just because Home Sweet is a literal step by step of our life since we got married. And it's like the first verse talks about getting back from our honeymoon, and it's like you're all inclusive, you're getting amazing dinners and drinks, and then you get home from your honeymoon, and I got dropped from my publishing deal like while we were on our honeymoon. And so when we got back, I had no income. Like it stopped. And so that's literally we were praying how to pay rent that month. And so that's verse 1. And then verse 2 is talking about, being on the road, broken AC hotel room, and just like how she was with me on the road all the time, no matter where it was, we were at home together. And then verse 3, of course, is talking about the house and the baby, and it just it's one of my favorites on the entire album.
Mine too. Mine too. As soon as I heard it, I was like, oh, I almost cried. And it was just, it is tender. And I can tell that you were writing it with the anticipation of being a dad. And now you are.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
Exactly. That's
Wow.
exactly
Okay.
it.
It's a lot. There's a whole lot. We can dive into all of that. Yeah, I know. I can't. So Love You Like I Used to, fourth number one. We don't even have to cover that. That's already at the top of the charts.
Yeah, I
Easy,
love it.
easy peasy. I do want to ask you more about Southern Symphony, though. Where did the idea of that come from?
So it started. The title Southern Symphony I've had in my back pocket for, I mean, 10 years. Like I just kind of, it was like, it could be like my band's name, like Russell Dickerson and the Southern Symphony, or so, I've just had that in my back pocket, and I just waiting. I was like, I know this is going to end up in a song somewhere one day. And the fact that it ended up being such a good song enough to, be the album title is, my favorite part, that I got to use that little Southern Symphony tagline. But it came from, I was writing with Parker Welling out in LA with another guy, and she was talking to this old man, and talking about uh, the Kenny Chesney song, "She Thinks My Tractor's Sexy," and he goes, she was telling this story. He said, "Where I come from, that's a love song. She thinks my tractor's sexy, right?" And I was like, "Wait, that's a song right there." And so we started, and so literally, I literally started that "Where I Come From." I was like, "Where I come from, we wash up before supper. You don't talk back to your mother." And we were just like, that was the jumping point. And within an hour and a half, we had the whole song written. So that's one of my favorites
So
songs I've ever
basically,
written.
really?
Yeah, absolutely. Just because it digs into my childhood, and it goes back and to all those pictures of, bug zapper buzzing in the driveway. And, I remember just like swimming over at my friend's house till like, who knows, midnight. And just, they had that big old bug zapper, and just hearing that thing going off. And we ice cubes and sweet tea, fight song on a Friday. It's just like all those images and those sounds are what combines together to make a Southern Symphony.
Ugh, I love it. When we're looking at this album, I have to ask, looking at it now compared to when you knew it was finished, you're like, okay, I can't tinker with it anymore. And then going back and listening to it, does it give you a fresh perspective when you get to hear things after there's a little bit of time?
Yeah, it really does. Like once everything's locked in and you're not critically listening anymore, it's a whole different, like you get to listen as a fan. Like I put myself in everyone else's shoes, you know. I listen to this, I still listen to this record every day almost. Like whenever I'm in the car, it's like a sunny day, a rainy day, windows up, windows down, is it hot, is it cold? Like literally I listen to it in every possible situation and scenario. I listen to it, you know, just on the iPhone speaker. I listen to it with like real headphones. I listen to it in every scenario, just to put myself in every fan's, you know, scenario that they've had. And you know, I don't know, I get a little obsessive over it, but I love just put myself in those scenarios.
Looking back, Kaylee shoots your first video. You guys have like, I don't know, how much money? 20 bucks, 30 bucks, something like that. It's a rainstorm. She kills it, she crushes it. You get this amazing video. Fast forward to second album, I hear there's like a feature film involved here. Give me the
Oh
details.
yeah. So I mean, that is literally what you just said is what I said on set of this film. I was like, babe, look around right now. Like there's boom cameras, there's this whole crane that's holding up like a fake moon in the sky. Like it is, I mean, it's a huge production. And I'm like, babe, remember the yours video? We had my friend driving the SUV and you're shooting out the back. That was our first experience. And you know, to hear, and this film is like my proudest. I don't know, I just kind of was like, what's gonna give the listener the entire album in this like condensed moment. And I was like, well shoot, we need to have like a preview of every single song like going through this video. And so that turned into an entire short film production of like me and Kales pull up at the Southern Symphony Motel. And you know, we pull up, we get a little Remington out, we walk in to check in, and the camera goes past you, and it's Never Get Old playing in this like smoky bar, and there's people line dancing, you know, and all that stuff. And then it zooms in on this couple, and then they walk outside and they're making out, and then it goes into All Yours All Night, which is like a little sexy jam. And then it's just like this continuous shot through the entire album. And you know, I've never seen anything like this before. And you know, it's literally a feature film, because you know, we brought in people from Hollywood to make this short film. And so it's just, I'm so proud of this album. And you know, just the creativity of this whole feature film behind it is like super different. And you know, I think people are going to love it.
Man, you know,
Yeah.
I know the answer to this, but I got to ask anyway. What's the thing that you're most thankful for in this crazy year?
Um, First and foremost, chronologically speaking, just time off, time to rest my brain and my heart and my body, just from 6 years of pedal to the metal going, you know, 90 miles an hour. And to be with my wife when she was pregnant in this whole time, and then time off to spend with our son, to wake up to his cute little face every single morning, and you know, get that time to really, you know, build a relationship with my new son and not have to be here and be there and be gone. And you know, that is just so invaluable. And I wouldn't trade a million sold out arenas for this year off that I got to spend with my wife and my new little baby.
Good. I love it. I love it. I love it. Did you develop any new hobbies during quarantine?
Yeah, started shooting a little bow and arrow. So I've been doing that, getting
Okay.
into a little archery. Um, what else have I been doing? That's just really more so like just doing manual labor that I wouldn't have time to do. Like I blow the leaves probably once a week. We live in the woods, so it's just like every I blow the leaves, and then 30 seconds later, it's just completely covered.
Right.
You know, getting into the woods a little bit, taking the chainsaw and just cutting down trees. I mean, there's like skid steers and excavators in my front yard right now. I don't know if you can hear them, but they're just digging up trees, and we're just trying to make this house a home.
Ugh, gosh, I hate to even ask. Is there anything in 2021 that's planned now, or is it all just like, let's just wait and see?
It's hopeful, you know, it's not just like, well, whatever, we'll just wait till 2022. It's like, no, I mean, especially with the vaccine announced and, you know, Live Nation, I feel like that stuff's going to start ramping up. Probably halfway through
Okay.
2021, sadly. But I mean, we may play some smaller shows starting March,
Okay. Okay.
April, May. Yeah.
I
No,
like
I'm just
it.
like, I'm ready to go.
I know.
Like, give me the vaccine and I'm out. I'm gone. Let's go.
You're lined up first with
Yeah,
that
yeah.
arm out.
I'll be first in line like the daggum iPhone.
You're waiting overnight. You're like, yay, I'm so excited. I do have one other question. Which of the songs on the new album does Remington like the best?
Southern Symphony, hands down. He loves it. Because like he'll be crying in the car or something, and I'll just like blast Southern Symphony. And I think it's like kind of the lower, like rumbly register that kind of like he recognizes. It's like me kind of talking, and the chill guitars and stuff. I think he really just he's like, oh, I know this. I'm gonna go to sleep now. You know what I mean? Yeah.
The perfect lullaby for any kid. Okay.
Hands down, Southern Symphony. Yeah.
That's amazing. All right, friend. I'm going to let you go. I know you've got other people to talk to, but I'm so happy.
Love you so much.
Love you. Love you. Love
All
you. Love to Kaylee. Tell her I said hey.
All right.
All right. Talk to you later. Bye. Whenever he posts pictures of his family on Instagram, it melts my heart. I hope that you love that connected with Kelly. If you did, please make sure that you subscribe below. I would love to have you on board. And you can also hit the bell. That way you're notified whenever a new episode comes out. I want to ask, what's your favorite Russell song? It can be from his first album or this one. Write it below. And I've got new episodes of Connected with Kelly planned out for the entire year of 2021. Get ready for exciting things. In the meantime, make sure that you're staying connected with all of the people and things that you love the most. Bye.